Hi everybody, my name is Madeline Ambrosino, and today I get the blessing and honor to share with you guys how the Lord has changed my life.
Hi, my name is Julianne Brenton. I'm here today just to read you my testimony and tell you a little about how I came to Jesus and why I decided to get baptized this year.
So growing up, Catholicism was more of just a heritage culture kind of thing for me. It wasn't until my sophomore year of high school where I went to a camp called Fellowship of Christian Athletes where I had my first encounter with the Lord. Got saved at that camp, but upon returning home, I wasn't surrounded by fellowship, other Christians, so I just kind of continued living my life the way I was doing before.
I always grew up going to church with my mom and my grandparents. I went to Sunday school with all the other kids my age, and growing up I was so happy that my mom brought me because I had a sense of God has a plan for my life, you're going to be fine. But I didn't really have a faith of my own. I had my mom's to lean on, which was great, and it worked really well for a little while until my sophomore year of high school. I ran into some life-changing events that just kind of shifted my not only worldview but who I am as a person, and I was really just struggling with grief in a way that I didn't really understand, and I wasn't frankly doing a good job with it on my own.
The summer going into my first year of college, my cheer coach of 4 years, who I was going to college to cheer for, had a heart attack and passed away. And within the same couple months, the boyfriend that I had for about 4 years and I also broke up. So in this season was the first time I ever experienced loss and heartbreak, and that void I always felt in my heart was just really raw and opened more than ever. So going into college, I wanted nothing more than to just forget about these sorrowful, depressing feelings I was having. So as soon as I got to college, I started trying to fill that void in my heart with temporary fixes like drinking and partying, indulging with boys, smoking.
I had felt this God that I knew before fading away, and I was just so alone, and I didn't really know where to go. And then, to quote a book that I read, I caught a glimpse of that barefoot human God who walks constantly by our side, mangling his feet in the rocks and the thorns. And the barefoot God that I found was Jesus, and it was so helpful for me to know that I wasn't alone, and that even in the valleys and the darker parts of my life, I would be able to have peace that I was not alone and this wasn't my burden to be carrying. So I really felt my God shift from something intangible that I didn't really understand to Jesus, who was very much real and someone that I could put my trust in and just know that my life was going to be okay.
In this time of my life, I started looking at myself differently in the mirror. For the first time, when I would see myself, I would see someone who I hated, and this formed body dysmorphia, eventually into an eating disorder. These just snowballed into each other. I started feeling depressed and alone. Me and my family got into a big argument, and I was grounded for a week.
The pull towards Jesus and just, God in general lately, and I feel like I've been blessed so much in ways that I don't really even know how to explain. My relationships, opportunities, just everything in my life. And I wanted to get baptized because I wanted to just declare that I trusted God with my life and that I was ready to follow him and keep receiving the blessings that he's giving me and keep spreading the good word.
I was so low, and I just didn't know how much longer I would last here on earth. So at the end of the week, I just, turned to God for the first time in a really long time. So in that night of prayer and tears I just spent with the Lord, he started revealing to me things that I needed to do to really walk with him, to be healed. And although these changes were difficult and this season was lonely and hard and rocky, the Lord began to bless me more than I could have ever imagined. He taught me how to love myself. He revealed to me my worth through scripture, through prayer, how to dress modestly, how to find strength in him when I was weak. He blessed me with fellowship and amazing Christian friends, with a great church, with community and opportunity for my future that I had never expected, and how to lean on him when I felt alone.